Hey, what's good, y'all? This is Ryan Jackson from Ryan Jackson LLC. Hope y'all are continuing to have a great, wonderful day. Hope you had a great holiday, had a great weekend. I know I did as well, which I'm going to get into in a few seconds. But I hope you're having a blessed, wonderful day, despite it being Monday and the beginning of the work week. We're not gonna put that negative energy out there. Today is gonna be a good day, like we say Fridays are. Well, we're gonna say that about Mondays too. So I hope y'all are having a blessed and wonderful day. And whether you're at work or on your way home, whatever the case may be, continue to have a good day. And we're not going to believe that stigma that everything that can go wrong will go wrong on a Monday. We're going to not even throw that negative energy out there. So, hope y'all are doing great. And I'm going to get into the topic for this video. Go blue. Hail to the victors valiant. Damn it, they did it again. My boys did it again. They did it again. They did it again. Second straight year. They defeated, though. I gotta be, oh man, I can't cuss on here like I want to. So I'm sorry, PG-13. They beat the Ohio Suckeyes. I have another name I could call them, but I'm not gonna say that. And I'm not gonna say state. The Ohio Suckeyes. My Michigan Wolverines, they didn't beat them. They utterly destroyed the Ohio Suckeyes in their ugly stadium, that toilet bowl down in Columbus called the Horseshoe. They destroyed them by three scores, 45 to 23. That's right, in front of a sold out crowd of over 100,000, mostly red in that ugly scarlet gray color, the suck nuts. Oh, that dumb looking mascot, and hmm, they went down there and they destroyed them in their own home, 45 to 23. It has been 22 years since Michigan had gone to Columbus and beat the Suckeyes. 22 years. November 2000. I forgot what date. I think November 23rd, 2000. I was 24 years old. I was stationed in South Carolina, and I remember that vividly because the days leading up to that game, my supervisor, um, my sergeant, I was her, one of her airmen. She was my supervisor in Shaw Air Force Base, South Carolina. Shout out to them. Shout out to those who serve in Shaw Air Force Base, South Carolina. My supervisor was from Cleveland, from good old Cleveland, and she was talking mad junk, man. Oh, we gonna kick Michigan's, you know what? The Ohio State, the Ohio State. We're gonna kick Michigan's, you know what? We're gonna kick Michigan's, you know what? I'm so okay. We had beaten Ohio State in Ann Arbor the year before in '99. I remember when that was Tom Brady's last year at Michigan. He defeated the Suckeyes in Ann Arbor, November 1999. So he had already been drafted by the Patriots. Ironically enough, Tom Brady made his first start, or no, I'm sorry, he made his first appearance a week after Michigan beat Ohio State in Columbus. I said I wasn't going to say Ohio State. When Michigan defeated Ohio a week after that in 2000. He made his debut with the Patriots. He didn't start. I just think he just made his debut because Drew Bledsoe was the quarterback back then of the Patriots. But in any event, yeah. So she was talking all this junk leading up to the game. We're gonna beat Michigan's. You know what? We're gonna kick their ass. La 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 la. This and that. This and that. Okay, okay, lady. Okay. She's from Cleveland. Big Sucknut fan. Ohio Suckeyes. What happened? Michigan went to Columbus in 2000 and defeated them. So that Monday was back on duty, back at work. She didn't say a peep. She was actually mad. She didn't speak to me the whole day. And I think for much of that week, she didn't speak to me, which was, I was glad because I didn't have to hear her annoying ass voice. I was glad she didn't speak to me. But it just was funny because one of the civilians at work was like, now, last week she was talking all that smack about Ohio beating Michigan. And now that Michigan beat them, she don't want to say anything to you. She's like, these people are sad. She's like, are most people in Ohio like that? I said, yeah, they are. They are. They could dish it out, but they can't take it. That's how they are. Whatever. So 22 years later, that was in 2000. 22 years later, Michigan goes to that ugly horseshoe stadium down in Columbus, that god awful city, and beat those suck nuts, the suck eyes, 45-23. Let me just throw out some stats for you. Our quarterback, JJ McCarthy, he's a sophomore from suburban Chicago, LaGrange, Illinois, I believe it is. He's had issues throwing the ball downfield, the passing game. Yeah, he's taking some criticisms, but not on today. He was 12 of 24, 12 for 24, 263 yards, 3 touchdowns. First one went for 69 yards. Second one went for 75 yards. And his last touchdown pass went for 45 yards. And he also ran for a score. Let me repeat that. 3 touchdown passes. First one went for 69 yards. Second one went for 75 yards. The last one went for 45 yards, and he also ran for a touchdown. Donovan Edwards. We didn't think he was going to play. I mean, at the last minute, literally, that he played. It was decided at the last minute that he was going to play. Leading up to the game, the morning of the game, Harbaugh came out and said that Edwards was going to play. Donovan Edwards, Detroit kid, my hometown, suburban Detroit, West Bloomfield Hills, Michigan. Shout out to y'all. My cousin lives there. My mom used to live there. Very familiar with West Bloomfield Hills. Beautiful, nice town, nice suburban town outside Detroit. We consider, it's not Detroit City, but it's in the metro area. It's a suburb. Beautiful town. Great football talent there. Donovan Edwards is from there. So I consider him a hometown kid from my hometown. So even though he's from West Bloomfield Hills, he's still Detroit. Donovan Edwards, 20. Oh, before I get started on this, the reason why he wasn't going to play is because he messed up. He injured his right hand. I think he fractured it. And so he hasn't played in 3 weeks. I think the last game he played was when we played Rutgers, which was on November 5th. Because he didn't play November 12th against Nebraska. He didn't play, I don't think he played against Nebraska. And he didn't play the week prior to that, when we played the week after that, the week prior to our game against the Suckeyes, he didn't play against Illinois. I think he played against Rutgers, but he was injured in that game. But he didn't play against Nebraska or Illinois. Didn't know if he was going to play or not. At the morning of the game, literally the game, he played. Harbaugh said he was going to play. And thank God he did. 22 carries, 216 yards, 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. He had touchdown runs of 75 yards in the fourth quarter, and he had an 85-yard touchdown also in the fourth quarter, which put the game away. That sealed the deal. That 85-yard touchdown run he had late in the fourth quarter with I think it was 3 minutes and some seconds left. That pretty much closed the door on the Suckeyes season of or going to the Big Ten championship. So sad, too bad. Aww. Two touchdown runs of 75 yards and another one of 85 yards. Donovan Edwards, messed up right hand. Didn't know if he was going to play. Our best offensive player on the team, Blake Corum, didn't play because he injured his knee against Illinois the week prior to that. He tried to give it a go, but he couldn't turn. I think he gained like 3 yards on that run where he tried to turn and turn on his left leg, his left knee, I think, which gives him, it was a no go. He has a brace on his knee, so he was a no go. They pulled him and he couldn't play, and that scared me. That actually scared me. So he didn't play the rest of the game, and I doubt if he plays against Purdue. I don't believe we'd need him. I don't think so because if we beat the number 2 ranked school, the number 2 ranked team, the Ohio Suckeyes, in their stadium on Saturday, then we could win without Blake Corum against Purdue. Not taking Purdue lightly, no disrespect to them, but they're not the Ohio Suckeyes. Let's just keep it a buck. They're not. They're not that dominant offensive team. So we could win without Blake Corum. Donovan Edwards, I believe he's going to play. He more than likely he's going to play. He just played 2 days ago, for God's sakes. So he's going to play on Saturday, and we're just going to continue the momentum. Again, no disrespect to the Purdue Boilermakers. No, not taking them lightly. I'm not doing that. I'm just confident in my team's ability. That's all. And they, and as well as any fan supposed to be. Not taking anything away from Purdue or taking them lightly. But go blue, and we will become Big Ten champions for the second year in a row in Indianapolis on Saturday evening. Go blue. So, Cornelius Johnson from Connecticut had 4 receptions, 160 yards receiving, and had 2 touchdowns. The one for 69 yards, which is J.J. McCarthy's first touchdown pass of the game, and the second one, 75 yards. Cornelius Johnson was on the receiving end of that. So J.J. McCarthy's 2 touchdown passes in the game went to Cornelius Johnson, and they were beauties. His third touchdown pass went to Colston Loveland, our tight end. That went for 45 yards. That was at the beginning of the third quarter, right after halftime. And I knew then, I said, Michigan's going to win this game. Defense played great. Ohio State was able to move the ball. When they got into our red zone, they couldn't score. We held them to field goals. Shout out to Mike Sanderstrom, Will Johnson, Mozzie Smith, Mike Morris, all them boys on defense. Y'all did a hell of a job. Jesse Minner, man, oh my God. People thought when we lost Mike McDonald to the Baltimore Ravens and Aiden Hutchinson and David Ojabo to the NFL that our defense was going to take a step back. It's like they're playing better this year than they did last year. And mind you, like I just said, we lost Aiden Hutchinson, a.k.a. Hutch. He went to the NFL, was drafted by the Detroit Lions, my hometown team. Not really a Lions fan per se. I may follow their games, but I'm not a diehard Lions fan until they do right by me. So they have a long way to go. David Ojabo was drafted by the Baltimore Ravens, which is where Mike McDonald, our defensive coordinator from last year, that's where he went. He went back to the NFL, back to the Baltimore Ravens. So we lost all that on defense. And yet our defense is still in the top 5. It's like they're playing better this year than they did last year. So shout out to Jesse Minner, the DC. Shout out to Jim Harbaugh, Coach Harbaugh. 2 years ago, a lot of Michigan fans wanted to run him out of Ann Arbor. And not me. I didn't. I said, give it to 2021, which is the next year. If he don't perform up to par, then yes, then it's time for a change. But 2020 was a COVID year. We only played 6 games. We were 2-4. We didn't go to a bowl game. We didn't win any home games. I think the only two games we won were on the road. The first one at Minnesota, and then we beat Rutgers in like two overtimes, I believe it was. I think it went to two overtimes. We beat Rutgers in Rutgers, I think in two overtimes. That was Cade McNamara's breaking out party, who coincidentally this morning it was announced that he's entering the transfer portal. And we kind of knew that was going to happen because JJ McCarthy has been playing. He was announced a starter at the second game. It was after the second game, after we beat Hawaii. JJ started the third game against Connecticut. Yeah, against Connecticut. And that's when Harbaugh named him starter. Actually, he named him starter after the Hawaii game, the second game of the year. And I think Cade McNamara played some of that game, but he injured his leg, and his season was done because he needed surgery. But the writing was on the wall. So, Cade McNamara, thank you for a great year in 2021. Good luck to you, young man. You're gonna do great things. Thank you for helping us last year to beating the Suckeyes and winning the Big Ten championship. You took us to you guided us to the Orange Bowl where we lost to Georgia. Unfortunately, these things happen. They were the better team. The Georgia Bulldogs, no hate toward them. They just were the better team that day. But Kate McNamara, thank you for everything you've done for the university. Thank you, man. Thank you for winning the big games. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for just thank you for your hard work and your effort. And good luck to you, young man. I mean, it was inevitable that he was going to enter the transfer portal. And like I said, good luck to him, and I wish him the best. I really do. Shout out to Cade McNamara. But going back to Saturday, them boys played good, damn it. They played good. They made me proud. And like I said, they wanted to run Jim Harbaugh out of Ann Arbor 2 years ago. And rightfully so, because, well, no, I didn't agree with it. I take that back. I didn't agree with it. I didn't have any. My defense was the man's won 78% of his games. You can't count 2020. This is a down year. This is a COVID year. So, and we only played 6 damn games. So in 2021, if he doesn't do better, then yeah, then okay, then I'm there with you because it'll be year 7. Run him out of town. I'm all for you. I'm with you on that. But he won the Big Ten last year, beat Ohio, and took Michigan to the Orange Bowl, which I said they lost to Georgia. This year he followed up the act. We don't know who we're gonna play in our bowl game, and we still got to beat Purdue, but we did win the Big Ten East second straight year. We beat the Ohio Suckeyes second straight year, and we go into the Big Ten championship in Indianapolis on Saturday for the second straight year. So shout out to Michigan. Go Blue. Before I go any further, hit that thumbs up button, smash that thumbs up button down, hit the subscribe button so you get notifications on when I do videos on here. Go Blue, damn it, go Blue. And last year, Ohio made the excuse. It was snowing in Ann Arbor. It was cold. We couldn't throw the ball. We had injuries. Woo, woo, woo. Your best receiver played last year. He had over 100 and some yards receiving. CJ Stroud threw I think, for 4 bills. I think he threw for 400 yards. So y'all didn't have an issue throwing the ball. That's a damn lie. You're just making up excuses. The game on Saturday, it was in the mid 50s and sunny. I'm going to repeat myself. It was in the mid 50s down in Columbus on Saturday during the game. The game was played at 12 noon. It was in the 50s, mid to low 50s. The sun was out. That's not hot weather, not really warm weather, but it's not brutally cold weather either. That's more like light jacket weather. The sun was out. Wasn't snowing, wasn't raining. What's the excuse? What's the excuse? Ryan Day, the Suckeyes coach. He's 1-2 against Jim Harbaugh because they didn't play in 2020 because again, they had to cancel the game because of the COVID, whatever, the fear of COVID pandemic fear, whatever you want to call it. They canceled the game in 2020. So we didn't play them. 2019, last year, and then this year. He beat Harbaugh his first year in 2019. He destroyed us. They beat us in Ann Arbor that year, 56-20 something, I believe it was. Didn't play him in 2020. Played him last year. Harbaugh spanked him 42-27. Played him again this year. Spanked him again 45-23. Worse this year than we did last year. So he's 1-2 against Jim Harbaugh. What's the excuse, Ryan Day? What's the excuse, CJ Stroud? Oh, y'all don't have any. We getting recruits. We getting 3- and 4-star recruits left and right now because of this year alone. Because of that. For all of y'all who don't know how important the game is, what it's called. It's called the game. Michigan and Ohio. For those of you who don't know the importance of the game, it's damn important because recruits see that game. There was a kid that committed to Michigan in the parking lot of Ohio of Suckeye Stadium right after the game. Right after Michigan destroyed Ohio, a kid committed to the University of Michigan right there in the damn parking lot. Tell me that game ain't important. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that game not important. We getting 3- and 4-star recruits for 2024 already because of the game. Don't tell me that game ain't important. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it on here. I don't care who. Prove me wrong. Michigan, Ohio is the greatest rivalry in all of sports. Let me repeat myself. Michigan, Ohio, Michigan Wolverines, Ohio Suckeyes. That game, the game, is not just the greatest rivalry in college football, but it's the greatest rivalry in all of sports, including the pros. They did a poll in 2006 about this, and they said, what is the greatest rivalry in all of sports, college and pros? Michigan, Ohio, Duke, North Carolina, in college basketball, Yankees, Red Sox, what was another one? USC, UCLA in football and college basketball, and a couple of others. Michigan and Ohio won convincingly. Even Alabama, Auburn in college football. Michigan, Ohio won by a landslide. This was in '06. It was an ESPN poll. It's still the greatest rivalry, not just in college football or in college sports, but in all of sports, including professional sports. Prove me wrong. And Braylon Edwards the great Braylon Edwards, Michigan, from Detroit, my hometown, attended Cass Tech High School. Shout out to Braylon Edwards. I believe he attended Cass Tech, if I'm not mistaken, he did. Great, one of the great receivers ever to play at the University of Michigan. Played with the Jets, with the Cleveland Browns. Didn't have a great career in the pros per se, but had a decent career. But he's a Michigan legend. On WoodwardSports.net, he made a great, excellent point. He said no one fears Ohio State's defense anymore. They don't have the Joey and Nick Bosa's. They don't have the Sean Springs. They don't have the Jeff Okudas. They don't have the Chase Youngs. They don't have the AJ Hawks. They don't have the Chris Spillmans. I'm going way back now, back to the 80s. They had this kid on defense. He played with 2 broken thumbs. I forgot his name. Anyone know it, drop in the comments. That was their only threat on defense. A kid with 2 broken thumbs. He made some great tackles. I'll give him that. Made some excellent tackles, but their defense didn't stop us. We put up 45 on them at home. We threw the ball. We were able to throw the ball on them. JJ McCarthy shredded their defense, shredded it. Donovan Edwards shredded their running game. I mean, their run defense, excuse me. He shredded their run defense. 75 yards, 85 yards. Are you kidding me? On 22 carries, 216 yards. He ran 22 carries for 216 yards on that Ohio State, that Ohio defense, the sucker defense. 216 yards on 22 carries. Ohio's great secondary gave up touchdown passes of 69, 75, and 45 yards. Tommy Eichenberg. Thank you, Steph. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, my brother. Tommy Eichenberg. 2 broke thumbs. Couldn't do the thumbs up. I know that's mean. Forgive me. Tommy Eichenberg. Yeah, kid played with 2, had bandages on both his thumbs. Made some great tackles, though. But he couldn't do it alone. That was the only threat on defense. Thank you for that, brother. Thank you for that. Appreciate you. Shout out to you, Steve Carlo. Steph Carlo. Hope I'm saying your name right. Steph Carlo. Shout out to you, brother. They couldn't stop him. When they beat Northwestern, was it a few weeks back in Chicago, in Evanston, Illinois, right outside Chicago. The weather was terrible. People said, well, the weather was bad. The weather was bad. They were bored. They, squeaked by Maryland by 2 scores the week prior to playing us. Well, they were bored. They were bored. They always like to make excuses. This is why I cannot stand the suck eyes. They always make excuses for when they lose or when they win or they were bored. The weather was bad. It's college football. You're not the University of Minnesota. Do they play in the Dome Stadium? Oh, okay, Syracuse. I know Syracuse, the Orangemen, the Syracuse Orange play in the Dome Stadium. They play in the Carrier Dome. Yes, it does look like a big toilet. And thank you for that. It's pronounced Steph like Steph Curry. Thank you for that. Steph Carlo. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Much respect. Much love and respect. But they always making these dumb excuses. That's what Braylon Edwards was saying. They make dumb ass excuses. The weather was bad. We were bored. But you play outdoors. You play in Ohio Toilet Bowl Stadium. It's outdoors, right? Columbus is not like Miami. It gets cold in Columbus. It snows in Columbus. It's up north. It may not be Minnesota and North Dakota, but it gets cold in Ohio. I've been there many times in the wintertime. It gets cold there and it snows. Columbus is not Miami, damn it. Minnesota playing the open air stadium, they do? Oh, wow. They don't even complain. And it gets a lot colder in Minneapolis than it do in Columbus. And Minnesota, the Golden Gophers don't even complain. I have more respect for them than I do the Suckeyes. I thought the Golden Gophers played in the Dome Stadium. Oh no, that's right. They built that new stadium on their campus. You're right, Steph Carlo. Thank you. That's a newer stadium. I think it's like 5 or 6 years old because I remember when they were building that stadium, the Golden Gophers were playing where the no. I'm sorry. Let me correct myself. The Vikings were playing on the University of Minnesota campus. The Vikings were playing on the University of Minnesota campus when they were building their stadium in downtown Minneapolis, the stadium that they're in now, that hosted the Super Bowl where the Eagles beat the Patriots. So yeah, while they were building the Vikings played there. Okay, that's right. You're right. Minnesota, the Golden Gophers do play in the open air stadium. They don't even complain. And it gets a hell of a lot colder in November and December than it does in Columbus. Am I right or am I absolutely right? It gets cold in Columbus. Don't get me wrong. Columbus is not Miami. It's not New Orleans or Houston in the winter months or LA, but it gets cold in Columbus. It gets cold there. It snows there. It's up north. Ohio is up north. Ohio, not Ohio. Ohio is up north. It's not Florida. It's not California. It's cold there. Suck eyes, suck nuts. So miss me with the excuses. You just suck. Therefore, suck nuts, suck eyes. You're not as good as you think you are. You're overrated. We proved that. You're not going to the CFP. We're going to see that tomorrow night on ESPN. You blew it. You needed to rely on Notre Dame to beat USC. That didn't happen. And I already knew that wasn't going to happen. Ryan Day, should call you Ryan Go Away. That's what I'm going to start calling you, Ryan Go Away. And he has to have my first name. Ryan Go Away Day. Not looking good for you, brother. Nope. CJ Stroud, you 0-2 against Michigan. Had a great, you have a great season though. The Detroit Lions would be wise to take this young man too. They'd be wise to take CJ Stroud. But not we ain't worried about that. We concentrating on the now. 0-2 against Michigan, brother. Goose egg. 2 straight years. You had a good game. I think he threw for 350 yards in the game on Saturday. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Marvin Harrison Jr. is a stud. Best receiver in the country. 0-1 against Michigan. So, they're going to be throwing the do signs up in the air soon because CJ Stroud is going pros as well as he should. Marvin Harrison, I don't know what class he's in. Marvin Harrison Jr., the son of the great Marvin Harrison Sr., Indianapolis Colts receiver, great receiver. I don't know if he's going to the pro. I don't know what class he's in, but I know he's going pro. He's definitely going pro. I think he's bigger than his father. He has more size on him than his dad did. But in any event, they lost 45-23. Michigan came, they kicked the Suckeyes, you know what, in their own stadium. And they planted Michigan's flag on their logo, midfield. And you're damn right. Second straight year. We're going to make it 3 straight because you Mark Busters are coming to Ann Arbor next year. You clowns will be in the big house next year. So it's going to be 3 straight. See how the balance of power has shifted. Those years, Ohio were beating Michigan from 2004 to 2010. Those 7 straight years. 2012 to 2019. Those 8 straight years. So from 04 to 2010, 7 straight years. We beat him in 2011. We beat him in 2003. And then from 2004 to 2010, they owned us. We beat him in 2011. Then from 2012 through 2019, the Urban Meyer and Ryan Day years, they beat us for 8 straight years. Now, seems like the balance of power is starting to shift. 2 straight years. I could see 3. We haven't beaten them 3 straight years since the Lloyd Carr years of the 90s. Think from 1995 through 1997, we beat Ohio State. Yeah, we did. From 95 to 97, we beat them 3 straight years. Maybe 4 straight. Did we beat them in 94? I got to fact check myself. Yes, Columbus is overrated. And it's, McDonald's food. Yup. I don't eat Mickey D's, so Mickey D's is Mick. So a great brother said he called it Mac Doodles. He called it Mac Doodles because you're eating doodoo. Yeah, Mickey. I don't eat McDonald's. Haven't ate McDonald's in months. I could count how many times I ate McDonald's in the last 5 years. I don't mess with it. Try to stay away from fast food. Can't stand Ohio either. Only thing about it, yeah, that's my father used to say the same thing. The only good thing that he liked about Ohio was Cedar Point. It was 2 hours from where we lived. I was going toward Cleveland. Detroit is 2 hours west of Cleveland. So we used to go there in the summers. And my dad hated Ohio so much. He hated when we used to go down south, go to Georgia or Florida. He hated the fact that we had to drive through Ohio. He hated that. We got to drive through the state of Ohio. And I have family in Ohio, and they are great people. My family in Cleveland, shout out to y'all. Karen Marlowe, um, Trey, my cousin Trey, my cousin Peter, his wife Dawn, my uncle Freddie, who's in his 90s, his early 90s. Shout out to y'all. My family in Cleveland, much love and respect. Shout out to y'all. I love y'all from the bottom of my heart. I love y'all. Y'all are my family. We're family. That's my father's cousins. I love y'all. They're Suckeye fans. You gotta forgive them for that. But despite the fact that they're Suckeye fans, I love and respect my cousins in Cleveland. I love them dearly. Shout out to y'all. I love y'all. Unfortunately, that y'all are Suckeye fans and Cleveland sports fans. Y'all, Cleveland sports fans, Suckeye fans, But despite that, y'all are family, and I love y'all. And I'll do. It's not anything in this world I wouldn't do for y'all. But I don't like the state of Ohio, and I have family there. I cannot stand that damn state. I've said it many times again. Many times I've said it. I hate that state. State. But yeah, but hit that thumbs up button. Smash that thumbs up button down. Hit the subscribe button so you get notifications on new videos on here. Go Blue, Michigan. Go Blue. I need to get another T-shirt and hat. I had this hat for 6 years. I got it at Michigan Stadium in 2016. My little brother and I went to the Michigan Illinois game the day after his birthday in 2016, October, and I got this hat at the stadium store, Michigan Stadium. This T-shirt, I ordered it, I think last year, but it's time for a new one. Matter of fact, I'm gonna order some new Michigan apparel this week. Hopefully, I get it in time before Saturday's game. Hopefully, I will. No, I'll get it before the bowl game for sure. Yeah, the Michigan Ohio rivalry is better than Chicago Detroit rivalry. Yeah, the two biggest cities in the Midwest. Chicago, of course, being number one, it's the number one populated city in the Midwest. Right behind it is Detroit. So Chicago number one, Detroit number two. But as far as I'm concerned, Detroit's number one to me. Always will be my hometown. But as far as population, Chicago and then Detroit, kind of like New York and Philly for the East Coast. You know, the two major metropolitan areas, Chicago and Detroit for the Midwest, and they have a rivalry. They are 4 hours apart, three and a half. Depending on how you drive, you could get to Chicago in 3.5 hours from Detroit. The most it's going to take you is 4 hours. That's if you're going to speed limit. But even if you are going to speed limit, you could get there in 3.5 hours. So about 3.5, 4 hours. It's 200 and what, 60 miles, 70 miles. So they're right next door, I-94, and they have a rivalry. Bears, Lions, White Sox, Tigers, Blackhawks, Red Wings, Bulls, Pistons, even the Cubs and Tigers play in the World Series. So, but y'all, they have that rivalry. Detroit pizza, Chicago pizza. Detroit deep dish, Chicago deep dish. It's that rivalry. You got the two biggest cities in the Midwest, two major population area centers in the Midwest. Chicago number one, Detroit number two. You can look this up. Separated by 70 miles, 4 hours. I-94, they next door. But like I said, Bulls, Pistons, Blackhawks, Red Wings, Bears, Lions, White Sox, Tigers. Um, for 1 year, Cubs, Tigers in the 1945 World Series. Illinois, Michigan in the Big Ten, basketball, football. It's that rivalry. They don't like us, we don't like them, but it's not hate though. Like Michigan State hate each other, and that's an in-state rivalry. Michigan and Ohio have total disdain for each other. Total disdain for each other. The dead wings. That's funny. They need to build a high speed. Yeah, yeah. Michigan, Ohio rivalry. Yeah, it's definitely better than Chicago, Detroit. Detroit Techno. Yeah, Detroit Techno started in Detroit. It sure did. Techno started in the D and spread to Chicago. So Detroit and Chicago got so many similarities, even though the sports teams don't like each other. They have so many similarities. The only difference is Chicago is bigger than Detroit. It's bigger. It's the third largest city, but that's about the only difference. Oh, and Chicago's downtown. Okay, they're downtown. They have more skyscrapers. Let me just throw that out there because I know some Chicago. We got bigger buildings than Detroit. Okay, 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 okay. Michigan did steal land from Ohio. They went to war with each other in the 1800s. They sure did. Al Capone did go to Detroit. He wanted to take over Detroit, but there were Jewish gangsters by the name of the Purple Gang that told Al Capone, "We will kill you and throw you in the Detroit River." Al Capone became partners with the Purple Gang because they were ruthless. They were scary, scarier, more scary than Al Capone. They were Jewish gangsters. The Purple Gang, look them up. They were partners with Al Capone in bootlegging because Detroit is across from Canada. You got the Detroit River that separates Detroit and Canada. So they controlled that operation. I think Al Capone even had a house in Detroit. I think he did. They need to build a high-speed rail, but it's Amtrak has service that goes from Detroit to Chicago. You could catch the Amtrak. Forgot where the train station is there. It's close to downtown Detroit, but it takes you straight to Chicago. They do have rail service. It's just Amtrak, but you're right. You're absolutely right. They do need to build a high-speed rail from Chicago to Detroit. You're right. But in any event, go blue. Hail to the victors. Ryan Day, we have another year to to drink and have nightmares about not beating Jim Harbaugh. He's going to live rent free in your head. And during that game, Ohio just made some dumb mistakes. They had penalties. I think it was our receiver was tackled out of bounds, and the Ohio defender headbutted him. 15-yard penalty, unnecessary roughness, holding, 10-yard penalty, 25 yards. They were in Michigan territory, but they backed up 25 yards on dumb penalties. Dumb penalties. They played with too much emotion on Saturday. They played with anger and intensity, and they were tense and had hate in their heart. You could tell because they played tight. They played tight, and it cost them in the end. And I'm glad it did because my boys from Ann Arbor, Michigan, the Michigan Wolverines, the greatest college football team ever, who play in the biggest and greatest stadium ever, the mecca of college football, Michigan Stadium. They came down there and they kicked y'all tails in your stadium. Go blue, hail to the victors. And we're going to beat Purdue on Saturday. And I'm gonna do another video congratulating the two-time Big Ten champion Michigan Wolverines. Again, congrats to Purdue for winning that joke Big Ten West. Congrats on Purdue. Not taking anything away from them. Congrats to them. Congrats. Not taking anything away from Purdue. Congrats to them. But we're gonna win on Saturday. I'm just confident. Just confident in my team. That's all. Go blue. Congrats to Jim Harbaugh. Congrats, congrats, congrats. Jesse Mentor, our offensive coordinator, running backs coach Mike Hart, great Michigan legend, the great Mike Hart, played at Michigan from '04 to '07, was drafted by the Indianapolis Colts. So shout out to him. Shout out to the team, J.J. McCarthy, Donovan Edwards, Cornelius Johnson, Colston Loveland, Mozzie Smith, Mike Morris, Mike Sandestro, Will Johnson. Shut up. And others I didn't name. Blake Corum for giving it a go. Shout out to Blake Corum. Shout out to even Cade McNamara for being on the team, even though he's hitting the transfer portal. But shout out to him as well. AJ Henning, and Anthony, Andrew Anthony, is it? Shout out to him. Shout out to CJ Stokes. And to those on the team I didn't name, shout out to you. Forgive me. Charge it to my mind and not to my heart. Congrats to the Michigan Wolverines. Go blue. Celebrate, Michigan fans. Detroit, my city of Detroit, those of you are Michigan fans. Most of y'all are. But shout out to them. Shout out to them. Saturday, did we get the job done in Indianapolis? And I believe we will. It comes on 5 o'clock out here on Saturday, but 8 o'clock back east. And they'll be playing at Lucas Oil Stadium for the Big Ten Championship in Indianapolis. That's Lucas Oil Stadium, downtown Indianapolis, the Big Ten champions. The Big Ten Championship, between the Big Ten East Michigan and the Big Ten West champs, the Purdue Boilermakers. So go blue. Hit that thumbs up button, smash that thumbs up button down. Hit the subscribe button so you get notifications on new videos on here. Oh my God, I've been on here almost 48 minutes. Oh my God, I didn't even realize the time. Please let me hop off of here. Y'all be safe. Like I say on every video, y'all be safe. Whether you're running errands, going to work, going to school, whatever, be safe. Christmas shopping, please, please be safe this time of year. People just up to crazy, even more so this time of year than any other time of the year. Please be vigilant, be cognizant of your surroundings. Be safe out here. Take care of yourself, take care of each other. I love y'all. Thank you for the love and support. We don't have to agree, but let's agree to disagree without being disagreeable. Drop your comments below and let me know what you think. And hit that thumbs up button, smash it down, and hit the subscribe button so you get notifications on new videos on here. I am hungry. I need to get something to eat. I'm gonna hop off of here. But thank you for your love and support, and God bless you. I love you very much. Take care and have a blessed, wonderful day. I'm out. Peace.